Good evening, folks. It's Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, I want to talk about some strange anomalies happening both here locally and around the world. Join me. Hey, what's going on?
Freddie wins.
Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Let me know if I'm having any issues. I've been having technical difficulties, which is why I didn't come on sooner. I don't know what's going on here. You know, it's like technology, it's supposed to help us, but it can oftentimes frustrate us, right? When it doesn't work out the way it's supposed to work out. But anyway, folks, good evening. Today's Monday, is a new week. Actually, what is it? Almost the last week before the kids get back to school. I'm sure many parents are happy about that, right? Gonna get a break. Anyway, folks, I was going through the internet, just doing some research, searching Google, seeing what I could find. And I came across some interesting information, some interesting facts, and I wanted to show you guys here. Anthony Moranti, the councilman for the 6th District, is running for mayor of Yonkers. He is the Republican candidate, but he's running also on two lines. I'm not sure what's going on here. Oh, here we go. He's running both on the restore term limit line and obviously the Republican line. But I want to talk about the restore term limit line, which is an independent line that he created along with some of his supporters. And in order to do this, they had to go out and get signatures. They had to get a certain amount of signatures in order to get the Board of Elections to allow this line, or to allow Anthony Moranti to also run on this second line. And they were able to do it. So Anthony Moranti is running as a Republican, as we all know, but he's also running on the restore term limit line, right? But have you ever heard of the cut my taxes line? How many of you have heard about this? This isn't the first time the Republicans have tried to create an independent line. Several years ago, back in 2010, they wanted to create a new independent line called Cut My Taxes Line. And this was interesting because there was some criminal activity, I guess, that occurred, some assaults that took place as a result of individuals trying to get this line on the ballot. The individual that was assaulted, according to this article that I found, is a man by the name of Joe Dolly. Now, I know Joe Dolly. I've gotten to know Joe Dolly over the course of doing basement politics. And I also saw Joe Dolly up at the H Mart where he was collecting signatures for the restore term limit line. So I guess he was involved in trying to create this new independent line back in 2010. And while he was doing so on Tuckahoe over at the ShopRite, he got into some problems with some guys there who were on the opposing team, right? Sorry for I'm having a little technical difficulty. I'm hearing like this buzzing in my ear. The internet is acting up. I'm sorry. But this was in 2010. Assemblyman Mike Spano's statements over arrest of campaign worker, right? So one of his campaign workers was arrested back in August 17, 2010, right? And he was arrested for assaulting Joe Dolly, who was out there collecting signatures for the Cut My Taxes line. The man you see on the right there is Julio Sofia. He was arrested and arraigned. He was a former campaign worker, and Mike Spano wanted no parts of this guy after this happened. This is now in the hands of the appropriate law enforcement authorities. Whatever the outcome, I wanted to make it clear that this type of behavior will not be tolerated by me or my campaign, said the mayor. I have taken steps to ensure that this individual will not be permitted to associate with my campaign in the future. As your assemblyman, I am committed to running a clean and fair race. My focus will continue to be on the issues that affect residents over Yonkers. So this happened in 2010 when he was running for re-election as assemblyman, or running for assemblyman, against Mike Ramadelli, who is the deputy city clerk here in the city of Yonkers currently. And if you don't know who that guy is, Mike Ramadelli is the tall guy that stepped up and calmed the entire chamber down the day of the term limit meeting when Tasha Diaz just went off and started calling people beggars, and then Hector Santiago got pulled out, and then he got punched after he I don't know what he did with his arm to the office, his one arm that wasn't in the sling. Remember that whole incident? Mike Ramadelli stepped up, he quieted down. That's who he is, the red-hairish guy. But he was running against Mayor Mike Spano for assemblyman. And he was trying to create an independent line called Cut My Taxes Line, and Joe Dolly was helping him. So he was collecting signatures on Tuckahoe. And as he was doing that, some individuals approached Mr. Dolly. They didn't like what he was doing. So Ramadelli campaign alleges aide assaulted by Assemblyman Spano's nephew and friend. And this was by Hezi Aris, right? Assembly campaign candidate Mike Ramadelli sent out an email blast authored by Brendan Charles, a person obviously part of the campaign effort, but whose title or responsibility is not ascribed in the email. Nevertheless, Mr. Charles alleges that one of the Ramadelli campaign aides, Joseph Dolly, was assaulted last night outside the ShopRite supermarket located on Tuckahoe Road. The email continues by asserting two men, Steve Wilgermine, that's Steve Squig, and Julio Sofia approached Dolly and inquired of his presence, right? Wilgerman against mayor's nephew, and Julio Sofia is a friend of Steve, well known to the Spanos. The email continues, Sofia initially threatened Dolly, then grabbed the petitions from his hand and fled into a Mercedes sedan. The clipboard contained nearly 250 signatures per the email notice, but about 200 signatures as per Mike Ramadelli. The petition is part of an effort by some throughout New York State to gather signatures for the purpose of creating another party line, specifically to be called Cut My Taxes Line. Yonkers Tribune, Westchester Herald, editors has personally been witness to some of the tactics incorporated by Ramadelli campaign volunteers. The approach is questionable, right? It begins with, do you believe taxes should be cut? Most people respond to the affirmative. At that point, the volunteer covering the name of Mike Ramadelli on the petition, to which Mr. Ramadelli has been promised enforcement, should the effort succeed, have cleverly duped the unsuspecting, overburdened taxpayer. So basically what he's saying is that Joe Dolly was out there collecting signatures, or some other volunteers, and they were approaching people saying, hey, do you feel taxes should be cut? And of course, everybody's going to say, yeah, right? And so with that, he was getting people to sign the petition, but supposedly he was covering Mike Ramadelli's name. I don't know if that's true or not. The point here that I'm trying to say is that this guy was assaulted, right, for collecting petitions, trying to create another independent line like they've done recently successfully. So, this is Yonkers politics, right? This is how dirty and grimy and gritty and crazy it gets. It's very, very, nasty. It's very nasty, Yonkers politics. They will blast you on these pages, Yonkers Tribune, or not Tribune, but Newswire and The Voice. If you oppose certain individuals that support, they support, they will talk about your family. They will, retaliate. Your job is at jeopardy, and if this was the 90s, your life would probably be in jeopardy also, but it's not. And nowadays they attack your reputation. They try to go after your family. They hurt your business, and they create lies about you, trying to ruin your reputation, such as you're into pornography, right? So I've seen these patterns, right? Because you have to know your enemy, right? When you're playing chess, it's knowing your enemy's moves, foreseeing what they may do, right? You have to be 5 moves ahead. So I did a lot of studying. And one of the things that they like to do here is porn. They love to try to accuse somebody of porn. And they've done this successfully, and they've done it unsuccessfully, to me. But they've done it successfully to a gentleman by the name of Yarzulo, last name, former superintendent of the Yonkers Public Schools, who ended up suing the city. Now, the city has paid out a lot of money in lawsuits, right? So that's taxpayer money that could kind of be going to the schools or something that's more positive, rather than going to former employees here in the city who were fired, terminated out of retaliation, or for other reasons, like to get them out the way, to move in someone else, right? And this is exactly what happened to this man who has since passed away. So rest in peace to the former superintendent, Michael Yarzulo, who was accused of purchasing pornography using the school cable service. Now, why would he do that? Why would anyone do that? Why not just buy it on your phone or, get it on the internet somehow, wait till you go home? Is it that serious that you have to actually purchase it on the school cable service, knowing that someone's going to see it? Someone's going to say, wait, who ordered Pornhub for $300? I don't know how much it costs, right? And also, porn is free, right? Can't you get porn free on the internet nowadays? It's all over the place. Go to OnlyFans. So why would this gentleman ruin his reputation, risk his, at that time, $200,000 a year job to purchase porn on the school's cable service? Does that make sense to you? Do you think that man really did that? Or did they want to get this man out of the way? Former Yonkers School Superintendent Michael Yarzulo claims that Mayor Mike Spano and top of school officials forced him to resign his $199,000 a year post by threatening to leak reports that he paid to watch porn movies on his school district computer, according to court papers filed this week. Computer, cable services, all connected. Yarzulo says Spano, former school board president Nader Sayage, and other city and school officials confronted him in the mayor's office on November 20th of 2015 and claimed they had proof that Yarzulo paid $2,300 to watch pornography in his office and would release it to the media if he did not resign immediately. Now, $2,300 is crazy. That's got to be a lot of porn. So this man must have been spending most of his day in the principal's office watching porn. Yarzulo denied in the 32-page complaint that he had watched pornography and said Spano refused to show him proof. Subsequent to Spano and Sage's threat to humiliate the plaintiff in public, plaintiff asked if he could have the night to contemplate Spano and Sage's threat. The complaint said Spano and Sage said no, that it had to be done right now, or else they would go public with the false statements that the plaintiff was viewing pornographic material, despite knowing they were false. Yonkers School District officials referred calls to City Hall. In a statement released on Friday, Yonkers Corporation Counsel, Mr. Michael Curdy of Harris Beach, called Yarzulo's complaint unfortunate. Now, check this part out here that I'm going to read. It's unfortunate that Dr. Yarzulo is forcing the city and Yonkers public schools to divert precious taxpayer dollars to defend this frivolous lawsuit instead of spending it on the students who need it most. Gotta love that shit. That's a bunch of bullshit that he's saying there, Curtis said. The city of Yonkers city and Yonkers public schools are filing a motion to dismiss at the earliest opportunity, and we expect to be successful, which they were not. They were not, because it was false. It was a lie. And the fact that Michael Curdy will have the nerve to say that the taxpayers are going to have to defend this lawsuit, spending precious money that they can divert to students, is a bunch of BS when we see this happening right now. Now, how much money was spent on that Mike Cater lawsuit? I'm just saying, it's a lot of money. Could have went to the kids, but we moving in the right direction, I like to think. We're moving in the right direction here in the city of Yonkers. I like to think we're going to get it right. We're going to get it right. And I have to show this stuff because it protects other people. It protects me. It protected me. And I'll tell you in a second. So after this happened, check out what else happened. The Yonkers Public School District and Board of Education. Yonkers police said Monday the department is investigating the possible unauthorized use of computers and cable services at the Board of Education. Police Commissioner Charles Gardner said the probe is being conducted by the intelligence unit, but declined to provide additional details. As this investigation is active and ongoing at this time, we cannot comment any further, he said. Now, this happened maybe a week after Mike Yarzulo resigned. The fact that they're now investigating at that time the possible unauthorized use of computer and cable services a week after Yarzulo resigned because supposedly he was purchasing porn on the computers of the school district, right? That should have raised flags right there. Anyone make the connection? Did anyone say, maybe the man was set up? Maybe whoever accessed the school's computers and cable service, who had the unauthorized use, were the ones that purchased the porn in order to set up the superintendent. Did anyone ever say that? Did anyone ever make that connection? Because I believe that's exactly what happened. Someone accessed the computers, unauthorized access by an individual in order to frame the superintendent. But the reason why they didn't want to show any proof is because the proof was concocted. And if they had to show it, then it would show possibly that it was someone else that did it. So who hacked the computers? Who did this to try to frame the superintendent? And I just want his name to be completely cleared. The guy wasn't watching porn. They wanted him out. And guess who was a part of that? Mr. Nader Sage. The guy and his family, a lot of the Jordanians are very upset because I spoke about the Sage. I did a podcast called The Sage Crime Family. It's all on Google. I'm being sued by another Jordanian by the name of Zahi Juris for defamation. But these are what they do. Nader Sage being sued for slander. While acting under the color of state law, Sage aided, abetted, incited, controlled, compelled, and or coerced the acts against plaintiffs that were in violation of the agreement and common law slander per se statuses. 13th, Sage actually participated in the conduct giving rise to plaintiff's claims and is thereby individually liable for his willful breach of the agreement and his slanderous per se comments. Sage, while acting under the color of state law in a supervisory position, willfully and with the malicious intent to cause plaintiff harm, breached the agreement and slandered plaintiff. I can go on. So, they like to point their fingers and make Freddie Vasquez this bad guy who just talks about people, slanders people, defames people. No, I'm giving them a taste of the medicine, and no, I'm not slandering because the information is on the internet, most of it. Any information that was not on the internet, I got from very good, very reliable sources. And they know that is true. People within the Arabic community have reached out to me. No, it wasn't Decatur's, but people that are very close to these individuals that gave me some good information, very detailed, that I did verify. And now a lot of stuff I didn't put out because we're moving in the right direction. We're moving in the right direction. I'm here to help the kids of this city, those that are impoverished, those that are at risk, those that need the full support of people like me and the city. And that's my goal. That's my goal. That's my goal from day one, and that's what I seek to do. So, folks, I just want to put this out there because it happened to me. They tried to do this to me at first with the pornography. And I spoke to somebody about this very recently, and we will speak about it. But look, I'm going to put it out here like this. And if you're watching, check it out. A woman came to me once as I was doing my podcast in need of help because she was being denied a hearing at Municipal Housing Authority. She had lost her voucher with 2 kids, a single mom, 2 kids with disabilities, and she had no voucher now. They were kicking her out of a West Hab building. During the pandemic, she reaches out to me. I got her on the podcast. Before I can finish the podcast, I'm being reached out. I'm being contacted by individuals who now want to help the lady out, people that work for Macy, right? And they gave her a hearing. She got her voucher back. However, she didn't tell me that she got the voucher back because the next thing I know after the hearing, which I was supposed to go with her, but then they denied me, to be there with her. The next thing she says to me is not, hey, thank you, I got my voucher. No, she says, I got some videos from schools of kids stabbing and beating each other up, and this is not being, put out there. It's not, parents are not being made aware. I'm going to send them to you. I said, okay, cool. She sends me one video. When I play it, it's two boys in Saunders committing sexual acts. Now, they were 18, and also they were fully clothed, and I didn't see any body parts, right? They didn't take off any clothes, and there were other kids in the bathroom stall videotaping them as well. What I didn't know at the time is that the police already knew about this video, and school officials knew about the video, but they were keeping it hush-hush. But what I didn't know at the time also was that this was a setup. I was being set up for child porn. That's why she sent it to me. Why do you think she got her voucher after being denied? Was Freddie Vasquez that influential at the time, especially, that I can have this woman on my show and right away, Brendan McGrath, the attorney of Macy, is emailing her with dates for a hearing. Wow, that's incredible. Am I that influential? At least I thought I was at the time, but I didn't realize it was a setup. I'm sure they got the woman in there and said, hey, we're going to give you a voucher, but you got to get the hell out of Yonkers, right? They gave her a voucher that she can go and use outside of Yonkers. She went to White Plains from where I found out, because she never contacted me to say, thank you, I got my voucher and I moved to White Plains. No, she never told me that, because once she did the setup, she was gone. She sent me the video and she disappeared. Then I talk about it on my podcast. Now the setup is in play. What else did they do? They hacked into my computer, my wife's computer. That's right. Same thing. Someone accessed my wife's Yonkers Public School account. It wasn't the entire city. The IT guy told her already that it was only her computer. Only her account was hacked. Now, were they trying to send stuff to me from her computer? Was that what they were trying to do? Because Brian Harrod of the Yonkers Newswire was then saying that I was watching child porn and that the porn was sent to me by my wife from her work computer. And another thing, someone from the city contacted me and said, hey, Freddie, it wasn't just your wife. All the computers in the district were hacked. But that wasn't true, because the IT guy already had let the cat out the bag that it was only my wife's. And then they try to run with this child porn thing. So they tried to do the same thing to me, except I was already aware of it. I was ahead of it. And I also have people that support me that were hearing certain individuals saying that I was going to be investigated for child porn. So they were going to investigate me. They were going to set this whole thing up. They weren't successful, but they were successful with Michael Yarzulo. And I just want to put that out there, because this has to stop. This can't happen again to people. These are people's lives. These are people's reputations. That's their livelihood. They have family, mouths to feed. And you can't just play with their lives that way because you want something. Nader Sage, I hear, has been wanting to become the superintendent for a long time. Will he be the next superintendent after the interim that we have here? I hear the guy that's currently acting as the superintendent is a very well-liked guy, and he's very good at his job. But he doesn't really want it. Can you blame him? He doesn't want to be, have trumped up charges of pornography and whatever else. But this was a goal. There was a mission here. Before Mike Yarzulo resigned, the man before him also had resigned over the budget mishap, the $55 million budget or money that was missing. But in reality, it was a simple accounting error. But was that accounting error set up in order to make him look bad, so he then would have to resign? That's when Michael Yarzulo came into the picture after. But why didn't Nader Sage have to resign? He was the president of the school board of trustees. Shouldn't he have been responsible also? He seemed to have done well. He got promoted. He moved on up. So they cornered this guy in the office. Mike Ramadelli, now he's the assistant or deputy city clerk. So, that's what happens. People say I can't beat him, I join him. Folks, moving on really quick. I just wanted to put that out there. Brother, how you doing? Fire Marshal Bill, who's that? Hello. Meanwhile, Steve Squig and his friend stole Devin's clipboard. Oh, I forgot to mention that part about it. Yeah, Devin's clipboard also was stolen. When Steve Squig's friend got arrested, well, I guess they only had evidence on him. In recent years, I've come to realize that the word investigation no longer has a legitimate meaning. Dr. Y, as he was known, was beloved by the student bodies at Tuckahoe, Roosevelt, and Hawthorne and Pearl. He was a very great, good at his job, very well liked. And people were upset about this. You know, they were really upset. That's not who the guy was. Definitely not in his character. But they wanted him out.
Good afternoon.
They wanted him out.
Post Freddie Vasquez here.
See why I say what I say and I talk about what I talk about. You know, Native Sage. You know what happened there. That's not okay, man. And so you guys can't play victim because they love to do it. They love to play victim when they are attacked.
It's packed.
When someone comes after them. When someone does the exact same thing they've done to people, they play victim. You're not the victim. You've been doing this for a very long time, but now you've done it to a guy that's going to do it back. And I'm not scared. And I know the tricks. I know the plays. I see the patterns. I know the players. I got the information. And so it's going to be a little more challenging. Folks, over the weekend, we had a beautiful celebration with the Dominican community here. The Dominican Festival. Did anybody check it out? I don't know what's up with my internet. Well, this was the Dominican Festival for whatever reason.
Freddie Vasquez here.
But while it was a great time, there was another video that was sent to me from the festival that was just disgusting.
Going down. It's packed. Tips on Main Street. Yeah. Dominican Festival.
Defecating.
The first
on the sidewalk.
festival of its kind in the city of Yonkers.
Unbelievable. I don't know what's up with my internet.
Bloody Cuddy, right?
You see her there?
Bloody.
Wipes
A lot of people here.
What is going on? There goes police officers. They start putting on their gloves. They surround the woman. I would hate to have to deal with that if I was the cops. That is not something I would like to do. I mean, I guess maybe that's why they get paid what they get paid. Look at this. Look at this. Folks, this is not the first time. In front of St. John's Church once, there was human feces all over the sidewalk. I showed it the same way I showed all that trash over there near Elm Street. It was cleaned up right away. So, you know, I don't know. What do you guys think? What are we going to do about this? Right? Shanae Williams, you're going up to the county now, right? You blame Chris Johnson all this time for the homeless problem here in the city of Yonkers. Let's see what you're going to do, because you better believe I'm going to be holding you accountable and holding your feet to the fire, especially because you talk a lot of crap. All right? You're going to have to do something now. We got homeless people, people with mental health issues, defecating on the sidewalk during a festival. That had nothing to do with the festival, so don't blame the festival. Don't blame the Dominicans, right? Maybe the food was just so good. I don't know. Maybe it was too greasy. She couldn't hold it. No public bathrooms there, but that was nasty. Shout out to the people that sent me that video. We have to do something. We have a lot of people here in the city of Yonkers that are homeless. They're all over the downtown area. People are suffering from mental health issues. It's not uncommon, and I don't want to talk bad about Yonkers. I'm not trying to, right? But it's not uncommon to see someone walking down the street in the downtown area having a full conversation with themselves, yelling and arguing with themselves, right? Having a real verbal altercation all by themselves. I've seen this several times. This is near all these luxury waterfront developments, you know, the $3,000 cell block apartments or, you know, jail cell-like apartments, you know, the boxes. I mean, what's going on here? I got to put it out there because we have to do something. We most definitely have to do something. Folks, wildfires. I want to go really quick to national news before I get up out of here. It's crazy. There are wildfires everywhere now. It's not just in Maui. We had them in California, but now we're seeing wildfires in Turkey. We're seeing wildfires in Greece. We're seeing wildfires in Italy. Why are we having so many wildfires all across the country or the world? Is it really global warming? Is this what it really is? And if you look up on this internet online thing that shows you wildfires all over the world, it's called weatherunderground.com, I believe. Look at Africa. Almost the entire continent is burning right now, according to this website. Why are there so many wildfires happening? This is in Turkey. Look at this. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Italy. I'm sorry. This is Turkey. Now, check out the rays. I'm sorry that I can't make it bigger. It's just, I don't know why it acts up. Oh, there we go. You see the lines coming down here? What is that? There's similar video from Maui with these lines, these rays-like things coming down just before the fire ignites. But why are there so many wildfires? I mean, look, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but it's strange. I mean, is this something that, happens? There's wildfires all over the place. I don't know. They've actually arrested some people in Turkey actually for causing them. They started them. And some people are saying that these are people being paid to start wildfires in order to promote this climate change initiative, right? So that way we can go all electric. It's all about New World Order stuff, going all electric, fooling the people into climate change. Climate change is real. But folks, the climate has been changing forever. Since God created this planet, we have seen climate change. There was an ice age once, and it wasn't carbon fuel or whatever, cars and planes that melted the ice during the ice age because they didn't exist. It's just what happens. That's just the way the world works. We have changing weather, but it's not because we're driving too many cars or driving gas cars. It's not because of all of this. It's not. It's not. It's all about, finding a way to, control the people and finding a new market, right? The climate change is a new market. Go green. And it's like the military industrial complex or the medical industrial complex. Now you have the, climate industrial complex, right? They want to get people to go all electric cars, smart meters in your homes, smart meters this, smart cities that, right? They want to do away with vehicles eventually. So, and also the carbon tax. You guys know about that? It's all a hustle. It's all a hustle. That's what a lot of people say. So I don't know. I just wanted to make you guys aware that I'm up out of here. Freddie Vasquez, have a beautiful night. The reason why I wanted to show that thing with Michael Yarzulo, and I know that it's old, is because that stuff still happens. The guy was set up. Who's in charge in the IT department? Who's up in the IT department? Come on, folks. Right. So I want to connect the dots for you, show you that this man resigned because they said he was watching porn or purchased porn. About a week later, after he resigns, the police department is investigating unauthorized access of the computer and cable services of the schools. There was no connection. Then they said, well, maybe somebody accessed the stuff and framed this guy. What was, what came about of that investigation? And who was handling the investigation? The intelligence unit, right? If you know, you know. If you know, you know. At the end of 1970s, Newsweek promoting the next ice age. Yeah. And did you know that Antarctica right now is experiencing some of the coldest temperatures in centuries? So, you know what I really think it is? I really believe that the poles are shifting. And this is real. The poles, the North and South Pole, I believe the polar caps are shifting. And this, it's a fact. If you go online, you can see that they are moving. I don't know how much they're moving every year, but they are shifting. And that shift affects the magnetic field around the Earth. And that's, I think, what's causing, more of this, crazy weather that we're seeing. And they don't want to tell us because they believe that the pole shifts are the reason why we have the continents that we have now, right? Remember, we have one supercontinent. I think it was called Pangea. I'm not sure if I'm correct on that. One supercontinent, and then all of a sudden they broke up into what is it, 7 continents that we have, or the different continents we have, right? And they believe that was the result of a pole shift, which happens quick, they say, and then they go back. They don't really go back to where they were originally, but they'll kind of go close to where they were. So, if you go and do the research, you'll see where they believe that the poles were actually located, thousands of years ago. But they believe that pole shift is what caused, the continents to break up. It led to volcanic activity, earthquakes, the plate tectonics separating and all that stuff. And also could have been what led to the Great Flood in the Bible, right? So I believe that there's something happening that we can't control. We're not creating. It's just the way the world works. And they're looking to monopolize on it somehow before, it actually happens, right? And that's why they're getting all this money to build their bunkers and stuff. So when it goes down, they're going to go in their bunkers. The rest of us are going to be screwed, and then they're going to start all over, just like they did in the last reset, right? Think about the Great Reset in the World Economic Forum. What does that actually mean? And what's up with the orphan trains of the 1800s? Why were there so many orphans and so many mental hospitals built? It's interesting. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Have a beautiful week. Enjoy. I'll see you soon. Take care. Oh, and by the way, if you are a parent looking for after-school programming for your child or UPK services with the best UPK program here in the city of Yonkers, make sure you reach out to us, Little Prodigies. We're going to be back, and I got to put it out there now because I want us to start enrolling people. We already have people that are going to be coming with us already from before, but we're looking for new students because we're going to be able to take in more students, a lot more students than we were able to do before. And we have a lot more space. We're going to be doing a lot more things. So check us out, Little Prodigies. If your child is in need of UPK, after school programming, you have a teenager and you want something for them to do after school, something productive, learn about the Owl Club. I'm going to be putting this out more in the coming weeks. So check it out, Little Prodigies. We're going to have a dope basketball program, dope dance program, dope computer programming and coding program. That's all part of the after school programming that we're going to offer. So we're going to offer specialized, activities, depending on what you're interested in, or your child's interested in. They want to be into the sports program. We're going to have a sports after school program, but it will cover the academics. So it's not just going to be all about, playing basketball or learning basketball. It's not going to be all about being on the computer programming and, designing a game, programming a video game. We want to teach these kids, you like to play video games? Learn how to make money doing it, right? And it's not going to be all about just dance and stuff. They're going to have to actually do academics the first half of it. In the second half, they'll be going into they'll separate into their different, designated activities. The basketball program is going to be dope. I got a semi-pro athlete who will be, heading the program up for us. He's done a lot of things. He's played overseas as well. He's done a lot of coaching. This guy's the real deal. He's good at getting sponsorships and stuff. So, if your kids are interested in a real ill basketball program, we're looking to do it big. We're going to be having games on the weekends and stuff. So we're going to be doing it very, very big. This is a great opportunity for kids who are interested in basketball to learn with someone who has skills, who, wasn't in the NBA, right? I can't get the NBA players just yet, but he's very talented, has done a lot of stuff. And I've seen him set up programs in other schools. He's done an amazing job. So, check us out. Basement Politics. I'm Freddie Vasquez, but I'm also Little Prodigies. That's my number one love. This is why I do what I do. Take care, folks. Have a beautiful night. And be sure to check us out, parents. I'm really looking forward. The action possible. Yeah, you're right about that. So I'm looking forward to you, to the kids, the teenagers, the youth. I want to meet you guys. I want to meet the families. Freddie Vasquez, my wife, Andrea, and our staff. We're going to be there. I'm just excited about it, right? So check us out, Little Prodigies. Again, I'll be putting up more information in the days and weeks to come. Again, it's going to be great for people who want to do sports, who want to do a specific thing. You just don't want an after-school program where you go, you do your work maybe, you hang out until your parents pick you up. Nah, we're going to be doing some fun, amazing, cool things. So join us. Don't miss out. Take care, folks. Have a beautiful night. Can't wait till the fall begins. Looking forward to it. And I hope that I see you guys there. I'm going to say this real quick. And you're looking for them to have, some kind of a job after school where they can earn a few bucks and stuff. We are actually looking for junior counselors. So we want to give jobs to young people, to the youth, right? No diss to the adults looking for jobs, but we are hiring adults as well. But we're also going to be hiring youth counselors, right? We want to get kids, teenagers who are ready to work, start working, be involved in our program. So again, if you're a parent of a teenager who's ready to go to work, may have working papers or whatever they need, and you're looking for something for them to do after school where they can earn a few bucks, Little Prodigies is hiring youth counselors. So check us out, man. We're going to do this big, yo. You're not going to stop hearing about it. You're not. I'm going to promote this. We're going to do it big, and I want to see all you guys with us.